Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Chuck here. We get a list of 28 properties today. And on Mondays, what we have to do, the link tends to come in different price orders. So just click this right here, hit the price. For some reason, the $1 million homes come in first. And I've actually talked to the board about that. As you know, it's a system that we just adopted about 2 months ago. So Twist Road is at 1.49 and it's 13 acres. The rest of the home, it's got some nice charm to it with the wood trim. Uh, I don't see and for the size of it, just over 3,000 square feet. I don't know if the value's there at 1.5, at least in my eyes. Usually we're seeing bigger, more upgraded homes, bigger land for the same amount of money when you look at equivalent value. So the next one, now we're going to start off with the smallies, and so it's short read, 384.9. It's an Emery model. We just saw one scooped up really fast on the weekend that had a little bit more upgrades than this one, but this still looks good. This is about going rate for these ones, although there are a few at 376, 79. So the competition factor right now in this sort of 370 to maybe 400 range for townhouses, there's a lot of them. And so a couple sold on the weekend, but there's still a fair bit. Even look at something like this on Addenborough. It's 1510 square feet. It doesn't have a lot of upgrading inside, but it has the hardwood stairs, which is it's very hard to do hardwood after the fact on your stairs, and you've got dark kitchen cabinets. So to put hardwood floors in here on the main floor is probably $3,000 or $4,000. And I would rather say to you something like this would have a little bit more potential for long-term growth. You wouldn't feel like you'd grow out of this one as quick as you would in Emery at 150 square feet smaller. Laundry room upstairs, the bedrooms are bigger, and so on. Zelensky's at 419. We have seen this model, which is a Brent Grove. It's 1,500 square feet. It's a semi-detached. Has a big front yard, but most people don't care about the front yard. Although it is big enough, you could almost toss a ball with your kid. I mean, that's a pretty good sized front yard. But most people, the value's in the backyard. Kitchen's okay. Usually when we've seen these models sell in this price, it's usually a little bit more upgraded. So they might be a little bit light on the finishes to command that price. McGurn is the Rothmill N, so it's 19 something square feet, 425 is the price. Lots of competition on these lately, so I could definitely see them running into challenges because there's so many of these listed now, and they don't have a huge fast turnover. They're not sort of demand where people jump on them on day one. You got to kind of work the market a bit with these types of properties. It does look clean and tidy though, and so there's your garage, you've got your deck above, and then you don't really have a backyard on these ones here. But they are really one of the cheapest versions of a two-car garage. The other value point on this one is that it does have the green space in front, which is nice. So the surroundings are quite nice, better than most of the ones that are listed right now. Now, Bar Crescent is 479. I think this is a screamer of a deal. We've seen these homes sell for, as much as 520, 530. And it doesn't have a tremendous amount of upgrading, but even the hardwood floors is better than some stuff I've seen sell way above this. So I think if there's any justice out there, they should sell this one pretty darn quick. And so they have 4 bedrooms upstairs. They come in a 3 and a 4 bedroom. It's called Quincy Corner, 1878 square feet, but that is a screamer of a deal. One of the best deals I've seen in a long time. So Chandler Crescent is 490. Detached single car garage, and we're talking about more than 2,000 square feet of living space. It's okay. It does not. I mean, they could have cleaned this room up too. I mean, there's a lot of crap everywhere there. I don't think it's going to affect the results too much. They're probably in a good place for more than 2,000 square feet. That's for that price at 490. I think it looks good. And Fourth Line has treated us with some nice high resolution photos. And I believe it's a Powell model at 499. I don't really think they've got much of a shot, but I wish them all the best of luck, and I do hope that they recognize the fact that they're going to need to put the photos up a little bit in quality. So Bessie Trail 520, and you've got it looks like a double wide driveway where you can park 2 cars. Inside crowd moldings here, hardwood floors. This one is 25 square feet, and they've done some nice work inside it out. Usually, there was an upgraded one that just sold at 510. 520 certainly seems a little bit ambitious. So Armstrong is 526.6. Open concept main floor, and they've got some nice upgrades in here. A bit of color, bit of personality in these in this home. If they did sell for this price, I would say it's probably as a result of the finished basement. Armstrong is a busy street. It is walking distance to the Catholic school, but you get a lot of traffic on this street. So I don't know if it would be my ideal in that sense. We've got this one on Childs. It's on the north side of Childs, so it backs onto some of the commercial stuff on Nipissing. And I believe that's zoned for 4-story buildings as well, but again, that's something you want to look into on your own. We talk about that on the strip on Main Street, but the backyard looks terrific here. Yeah, so those are probably commercial buildings right there, but you've got a 150-foot yard, you've got a pool, a hot tub, plus you've got lots of backyard for the kids to play, and no shots of the inside. But you're talking about a 4-bedroom home, you're more than 2,000 square feet, finished basement, and I would say that this one represents very, very strong value if the inside is even half decent. If it's a 6 out of 10, that one's actually looking like a good deal. Lancaster is $549, and so I believe this is a smaller model. I don't remember the model name, but you've got a front dining room, you've got kitchen family, 3 bedrooms upstairs plus the laundry, and then you've got a bit of work in the backyard. Now, a very similar home to this one. I think the same model, with a bit of work done in the backyard, backing onto green space, pie-shaped lot, and I think a little bit better inside. Recently sold for a lot less than this, so I'd be surprised if these guys got this price. They have put an August 7th date as the possession. And so we know when that date is put in a listing that it probably means something to the sellers. So Kincardin's up next. You know what I'm going to say. You can't even tell that the driveway's had any work done to it. And so the home is a Royal Fern, 2047 square feet. One beautiful one just sold last week. We don't have the final sale price on it, but it's going to be substantially more than what they were asking, which is similar to this. Probably a little bit high. Historically, I mean, these models have gone anywhere, even in the last 6 months, from 480 up to like 540. So probably not going to get too close to the asking price. Cahoon is 559, and so it's 2456 square feet. That's all I've got for you. It looks like dark hardwood floors, 9-foot ceilings. Probably not that far off, but we're just waiting for the photos on it. Clover Park, I have heard that going inside this home, it looks like a sort of a quick flip. That's the two things, is that this one here, they've now put furniture in. At one point they didn't have. If you remember, there was a vacuum hose that was kind of sitting in the family room. It looks good in the pictures. On paper, it looks like it's pretty good at $569. I mean, the basic version of this home would probably go for somewhere in the lower fives, I'd say. Caldwell is $569. So this part of Caldwell, actually they're siding onto Derry. So you've got the Crescent here, which is relatively private and safe, and kids can ride their bikes, but you're gonna have the road noise from Derry right beside you. And yeah, you can probably even see right here. So there's Derry Road right beside. And then you've got inside, it's I don't know, it's okay. Like, I don't find the pictures like that, to me, is not a power picture. In fact, I might even say leave that photo out because it's not helping you on the listing. You have to look at every part of your listing, your description, your pictures, and say, is this moving me towards or further away from the goal of selling it at full price? So fourth line is $574, and I think if these guys, if they were to sell, I would say they probably are looking at the finished basement would be probably one of the reasons why. Field is at $579, 2,200 square feet finished basement, a bit of hardwood floors. Basic, but looks nice. The photos are a little bit dark, but you've got that nice finished basement there too, a bit of interlock on the front. And it's a pretty wide lot. 45 by about 90 feet is actually a nice sized piece of property. The builders don't even make this size property anymore. Field Drive is $579. So this one here doesn't have a finished basement. It's on the same street as the previous one. Now it looks like it's been taken care of really well. So just kind of, it looks like a move-in ready. They've got those green apples. They definitely knew what time it was there. Upgraded light fixtures, California shutters, and I think a nice curb appeal too. So I have no doubt that this one would show extremely well at $579. It might be one of those things where they're just running into homes that have a little bit more size, finished basement, so on. Now, the next one is McNeil, and it did get an offer on the weekend. I think it's an outstanding price, $579. There was one, the same model as this one, with a finished basement, was up in the sixes a couple months ago. Actually, in fact, I think it was only a month ago. So this one here, no hardwood floors, 2,350 square feet, but you've got your California shutters. It's really the hardwood's the only thing that's missing in this home. And so you've got a nicely done finished basement, and the backyard has a little bit of landscaping. Very, very nice. And it's a great area. So you've got the library straight shot down the street. You've got Hawthorne Village School. You've got the park. Actually, two parks are within a 5-minute walk of this home. Bit of landscaping in the front. Very, very, very nice. Okay, so McCandless Court is at $579. And so I believe it's a walnut model, which is 24 something square feet. Dining room, living room, family room, kitchen in the back. So set up almost like a grid pattern. And you've got some rounded arches, which is nice. You've got some pot lights. The kitchen's been upgraded, and you've got your finished basement. So really, this one was up in the sixes. They're now down to what I think is a very, very strong price at $580. So it's actually bigger than the previous one, and the lot isn't as big, but the house itself is, and it's got some nice upgrades at $579. Outstanding. So don't expect that one to last long. This one on Sprucedale, it looks like it's a 1.5 car garage. Typically, if you count the panels, 8 panels is usually the full double garage. The 6 is 1.5, which functionally to me means a single car garage. You can either fit 2 cars or you can't, in my mind at least. So I like the little pot light right here. I like the round. I like the open entryway, which is getting harder and harder to find. And interesting table. It probably wins the award for the most creative table that we've seen in a while. And there you go. So $584. I think that they're certainly seeing things in this price range with a little bit more upgrading. Might be a little on the high side. Rule is about 2,436 square feet. I think it's a plan 7 from Mattamy. I can't remember the numbers. Loft upstairs, plus you've got 4 bedrooms. $589, they're getting beat. They're just flat out getting beat. There's no other way to say it. Gorham Way is $619, about 2,500 square feet. Nice upgrades, the countertops, the cabinets, pot lights, hardwood floors, and so on. So this one shows really well. Gorham Way, I think, is a fantastic street. Field is also a good street. It's right by Gorham Way. And you've got a good sized property, 42 by 100 feet. You've got a little bit of interlock that's going on there. Might be a little on the high side, but I do definitely see a lot more value here than I see for a little bit less with a lot of the other homes. So Valley View is at $655. Backing onto Ontario. And we've seen homes on Valley View, for example, the one on the inside with the pool that just sold, to me represent better value than this one. It's got a good amount of size. I just think that the backing onto Ontario, there's a lot of rumors about those houses that are boarded up on Ontario, and I'll leave that to the rumor mill. I won't talk about it, but as far as I know, my understanding, I believe, is that it's going to be townhouses, but that is not 100% confirmed. Britannia is $675. It's on the west side of it's past Tremaine. It's west of Tremaine, which means it's probably under the Niagara Escarpment Commission, and so you wouldn't have the development around this one. Britannia in town is supposed to be 6 lanes, and I believe past this point it's going to be a much quieter street. Nairn Circle is 2,814 square feet. You've got some nice upgrades inside, hardwood floors, California shutters. Actually looks like a nice one. You know, it's a little bit high. It's got the green space behind, which is helping them. The walkout basement. You've got some nice garage doors here. 2 separate garage doors, all brick. They could do it. You know what? They're not that far off. So second line is at $899, and so we've got 42 acres on this one. We've got a house that actually looks like it's in pretty decent shape. If you look at the finishes in the kitchen. You know, this is good. I mean, usually at $899, we'll see stuff at 10 acres, maybe with a little bit bigger home. But I think for the amount of land for the outbuildings, there's a lot of value in this one here too. And it's not that far north. It's 15th Side Road kind of thing. So I think that's one of the stronger ones that you can buy for $900,000 if you need those other facilities. So if you have any questions, give us a call. And I hope you enjoyed this episode. We'll be back tomorrow with more Milton Daily Homes.